Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Rahman Darmawan, and now I want present is about for morphology phonology, and the material for part one. I used the International Phonetic Association, or we used to call APA, and syllable. Let's start. The definition of APA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, or APA, is standardized system of phonetic notation developed by the International Phonetic Association. It represents the sounds of spoken language using unique symbols, allowing linguists and language learners to accurately describe pronunciation across language. This explanation follows Roche 2018. And for the function of APA, 1. To provide a consistent representation of speech sounds. 2. To avoid ambiguity caused by spelling differences. And 3. To support language teaching, phonetic research, and speech analysis. For the classification of English phonemes are divided into 1. Consonant, 2. Vowels, and 3. diphthongs. For the consonant phonemes, there is examples and explanation. For the phonemes, there are p, there are p, b, t, d, and k. For the example word, there is pen. The explanation is a voiceless bilabial plosive produced by releasing air from both lips. For the phonemes b and the example word book, for the explanation, a voice bilabial plosive involving vocal cord vibration. And the example time, and the explanation of voice bilabial plosive involving vocal cord vibration. And for the example word is day, and the explanation of voice alveolar plosive. And the last one, k, the example word is cat, and the explanation is a voiceless filler plosive produced at the back of the mouth. And for the vowel phonemes, for the phonemes e, and the example word is c, and for the explanation, a long high front vowel. And phonemes e, for the example sit, and for the explanation, a short lax front vowel. For the phonemes a, and the example word bat, and for the explanation, a mid front vowel. And for the phonemes I, and the example word cat, and the explanation, a low front vowel. And the last one, ah, and the example word is cup, and for the explanation, a central vowel commonly used in stressed syllables. And for the diphthongs phonemes, the phonemes I explain, example word is time, and explanation is vowel glide from low to high front. For the phonemes au, and the example word is house, and the explanation is glide from low to high back. And a, for the example word is face, and explanation is mid to high front movement. And the phonemes o, the example word is go, and the explanation is mid to high back movement. And for the phonemes oi, and the example word is boy, and the explanation is back to front vowel glide. Importance of APA. APA is essential in 1. Language teaching and pronunciation training, and 2. Linguistic analysis and phonological studies, 3. Dictionary transcription, and 4. Speech therapy and phonetic research. This explanation follows Ledford and Johnson, 2015. And for the material of syllable, definition of syllable: a syllable is a phonological unit consisting of a vowel sound with or without surrounding consonant, forming the basic rhythm structure of words. This explanation follows Roach, 2018. A syllable typically consists of 1. Onset initial consonant S, 2. Nucleus is vowel core element, and the last one coda final consonant S. The next slide, syllable function of syllables. Syllable functions: 2. 1. Organize speak, rhythm, and timing. 2. Determine stress pattern. 3. Influence pronunciation and word formation. And the last one, support phonological and morphological analysis. The next slide, types of syllables. 1. Open syllables ends with a vowel. Example, go. 2. Closed syllable ends with a consonant. For the example, cat. 3. Stressed syllable receive emphasis. 4. Unstressed syllable reduce or weaker. And the last one, complex syllables, is contains cluster. 5 example words with explanation. For the word teacher, and for the teacher, for the syllable breakdown is 2, T and chair. And for the explanation, it contains 1 stressed and 1 unstressed syllable. The word computer have 3 syllable breakdown. There is computer, and for the explanation, is stress falls on the second syllable. The word happy have 2 syllable breakdown, hap and p, and for the explanation, is final syllable is weak. And for the word strength, only 1 syllable, strength. For the explanation, is complex syllable with consonant cluster. And the last one, education. It has 4 syllable breakdown, education. And for the explanation, is polysyllabic word with shifting. Importance of syllable study. Understanding syllables helps 1. Improve pronunciation accuracy, 2. Analyze word stress and rhythm, 3. Support second language acquisition, and the last one is understand phonological rules. This explanation follows Crystal 2019. And the next slide, there are the 3 reference. Okay, I think enough for the presentation for the part 1, and continue for the part 2. Let's start the part 2, case study. Case study, a busy morning at Riverside Learning Center. The case study contains examples of assimilation, metathesis, epenthesis. This process reflects real patterns in English phonology rather than speech error. The next slide. 1. Assimilation. I'm gonna check the projector. Base form, going to. and surface form corner. Explanation: the sequence going to undergoes phonological reduction. The alveolar stop th is weakened and the vowel is centralized, producing a smoother articulation in fast speech. This explanation follows Roach 2018 and Crystal 2019. The next slide, one assimilation. Wanna play. Base form want to, and surface form wanna. Explanation: the consonant th is lost due to its position between vowels. This type of assimilation commonly appears in high frequency and expressions during informal interaction. This explanation follows Roach 2018. The next slide, grandma instead of grandma. Explanation: the stop d is omitted as surrounding nasal sounds influence articulation. The simplification reflects ease of production, especially in excited or rapid speech. The explanation follows Roach 2018 and Crystal 2019. The second meta-thesis, asks instead of ask. Explanation: the consonant s and k switch position. This form has historical and dialectal presence in English, making it a stable variation rather than an error. The next slide, spaghetti instead of spaghetti. Explanation: the initial consonant sequence is reorganized to fit a simpler pronunciation pattern. Such rearrangement rare are re, sorry so such rearrangement is common when speakers handle unfamiliar or complex words. The next slide, film instead of film. The explanation: the internal structure of the word is altered to avoid a difficult consonant cluster, resulting in a reordered and more pronounceable form. The next slide, 3. Appendices. Film instead of film. Explanation: a vowel is inserted between L and M, breaking up the consonant cluster and easing articulation. The next slide, animal instead of animal. Explanation: the added vowel allows smoother transition between consonant and reflects common strategies in child and dialectical speech. The next slide, spaghetti instead of spaghetti. Explanation: appendices reduces phonological complexity by inserting a vowel into a dense consonant environment. And the next one, 3 appendices, grandma, modify pronunciation. Explanation: sound insertion and restructuring occur as part of natural speech. Simplification, particularly in informal contexts. The next slide, why each example fits its category. First, assimilation. Sounds adjust the neighboring sounds. Second, metathesis. Sounds change position within a word. And the last one, appendices. Extra sounds are inserted to ease pronunciation. All examples reflect systematic phonological processes. The next slide, phonetic transcription. 1. Comfortable. 2. Probable. 3. Accommodate. 4. Massive. 5. Governor. 6. Texture. 7. Athlete. 8. Experience. 9. Gladiator. 10. Happening. 11. Generation. 12. Moderate. 13. Service. 14. Intensity. 15. Category. 16. Intricate. 17. Department. 18. Gratitude. 19. Ethical. 12. Spontaneous. The next slide, study case analysis. Language class on Friday afternoon. The next slide, the definition. Stress preserving suffixes attached to a base word without altering its original stress pattern. They are phonological weak and do not compete for prominence. Stress attracting suffixes influence stress placement by requiring stress to fall on the syllable directly before the suffix. These suffixes actively shape the prosodic structure of the word. And the last one, stress shifting suffixes, cause a broader reorganization of stress, often changing both stress position and rhythmic structure. The derived form shows a stress pattern that contrasts clearly with the base. This explanation follows Hayes 1995. 1. Stress preserving suffixes. Hopeful. Word information. Hope plus full become hopeful. Stress pattern. Hopeful. Explanation. The suffix full doesn't introduce a new stress syllable. The primary stress remains on the base word, showing that the suffix has no stress attracting force. The next slide, careless. Word formation care plus less become careless. Stress pattern careless. And the explanation, the suffix less functions as a stress neutral suffix. It adds meaning but doesn't interfere with the prosodic structure of the base. The next slide, darkness. Word formation, dark plus ness become darkness. Stress pattern, darkness. Explanation, although ness changed to word class, it doesn't create a new stress domain. The stress pattern of the base is fully maintained. The second stress attracting suffixes. The example one is education. Word formation educate plus ion become education. Stress pattern education. Explanation, the suffix ion enforces a stress rule that places primary stress on the preceding syllable, overriding the original stress pattern of the base verb. The next slide, musician. Word formation music plus ion become musician. Stress pattern musician. Explanation, the suffix ion restructures stress by assigning prominence to the syllable immediately before it, resulting in a different stress location from the base noun. The next slide, geology. Word formation geo plus logy become geology. Stress pattern geology. Explanation, the suffix logy systematically attracts stress to the pre-suffix syllable, producing a stable and predictable stress pattern. The third, stress shifting suffixes. The first example, democratic. Base versus derived. Democracy become democratic. Stress change. Democracy and democratic. Explanation. The suffix EIC triggers a shift in primary stress, creating a new stress peak that differs from the base noun. The next one, economic base versus derived. Economic become economic. Stress change. Economy become economic. Explanation: the derived adjective reorganize stress placement, resulting in a different syllable receiving prominence. The next one, photographic base versus derived. Photograph become photographic. Stress change. Photograph become photographic. Explanation: suffixation alters the prosodic pattern, forcing stress relocation to maintain rhythm balance. This explanation follows Katamba 2015 and Raj 2018. And in the next slide, there are three references. As you can see, and I think is enough the presentation from part 1 until part 2. Thank you very much.